Welcome back, dear students. This is your economics online class. We are discussing the sixth chapter, banking. In the last class, we discussed about non-financial banking institution and what is central bank and its function. 16 function we discussed. Today we have to continue the rest of the concept of this banking chapter, which is credit control measures. So that how do they maintaining and controlling the credit? Okay, it is detailed, we have to discuss here. Credit control measures. The credit control is the primary mechanism available to the central banks to realize the objectives of monetary management. Okay, the RBI using the credit control as a primary mechanism, so that the RBI is much better placed than many of credit control. They using many credit controls system. The statutory basis for the control of the credit system by the Reserve Bank of India embedded in the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. According to the Act 1934, Reserve Bank of India Act and the Banking Regulation Act 1949, they using and controlling the credit system. Okay, this may be asked in your 1 mark. So that they controlling the credit system by the Reserve Bank of India, which is embodied in the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 and Regulation Act 1949. They controlling through two measures. What are they? Quantitative measures and qualitative measures. The quantitative measures is also known as general method or general measures. Selective method is otherwise known as qualitative method. So that these two credit measures only they using for controlling credit system. Okay, let us see one by one. First we have to go through the general method, okay, which is quantitative measures. What are the quantitative measures? Given here the topic heading given here about the quantitative measures. What are they? Bank rate, open market operation, variable cash reserve ratio. These are the three heads given here. Let us see the first one, the methods of credit control under the quantitative or general method. The first one is what? Bank rate policy. What is bank rate policy? Bank rate policy. The bank rate is the rate at which the central bank of a country is prepared to rediscount the first class securities. It means the bank is prepared to advance loan on approval securities to its member banks. You should listen here. Who giving loans? Who is providing loans and securities to the member banks? Who are the member banks here? The commercial banks are member banks to the central bank. Okay, you should mind it. Central bank is RBI. RBI providing loans and securities depends upon the securities of the commercial bank only. They providing loans. Can you understand? So that the bank rate is the determined and rediscounted by the central bank to the member banks. Member banks means commercial banks, all the commercial banks. So that as the central bank is only the lender of the last resort, the bank rate is normally higher than the market rate. For example, if the central bank wants to control credit, so that the central bank wants to control credit, it will raise the bank rate. So then only they can control. Immediately they raising the bank rate. Okay, that's why the commercial bank also will reduce their loans. They cannot buy. Okay, they cannot buy loans and approval of securities, everything from central bank. So that if any crisis is there, immediately the central bank wants to control credit, it will raise the bank rate. So raising the bank rate, as a result the deposit rate and other lending rates in the money market will go up. So borrowing will be discouraged. No one give interest to borrow. So that and will lead to contraction of credit and vice versa. So credit also will be contract. Decrease. Contract means decrease. So this is the bank rate policy. Then open market operation. In the open market operation, two ways they can control. In narrow sense and in broad sense. In narrow sense, the central bank starts the purchase and sale of government securities in the money market. They can selling their securities. Okay, this is narrow sense. In the broad sense means the central bank purchase and sells not only government securities but also the other proper eligible securities like bills and securities of private concern. When the banks and the private individual purchase these securities, they have to make payments for these securities to the central bank. So that this is the broad sense. One is the directly they purchasing and selling the government securities in the money market. Another sense is broad sense. The central bank purchasing not only the government securities and also the private securities, bills. From whom? The eligible person. Okay, the eligible securities like bills and securities from private concern. So that when the banks and private individuals, which means individual peoples, the big entrepreneurs maybe or industrialists, so they can individual purchase these securities. The private purchasing the securities, they have a interest to make payment for these securities to the central bank. Okay, they can purchase from central bank. So this is open market operation. In the open market, they can selling all the securities and bills. Understood? The next one is variable reserve ratio. We should understand here the variable reserve ratio also divided into two types. One is cash reserve ratio, another one is statutory liquidity ratio. The first we have to discuss about the cash reserve ratio. Under this system, the central bank controls credit by changing the cash reserve ratio. For example, if the commercial banks have excessive cash reserve on the basis of which they are creating too much of credit, this will be harmful for the larger interest of the economy. Suppose they accepting deposits and making credit, everything, too much credit. Suppose the commercial bank increasing means it will harm, okay, to whom? The economy. It will harm for the larger interest of the economy. So that it will raise the cash reserve ratio. Okay, where? In the commercial bank. So that the cash reserve ratio they should keep according to the central bank advice. So that see here, they increasing the year, suppose they increasing the year cash reserve ratio means what will be happen? It will harmful to the economy. So that it raise the cash reserve ratio which the commercial banks are required to maintain with the central bank. Okay, they will get permission from central bank or they should keep in the central bank. Okay, whatever the credit, excess credit or excess money reserve ratio they have, they should maintain in the central bank. Okay, the next one is likewise, similarly, when the central bank desire that the commercial bank should increase the volume of credit in order to bring about an economic revival in the economy, the central bank will lower down the cash reserve ratio with a view to expand the lending capacity of the commercial bank. So that the central bank can increase or decrease the volume of the credit of the commercial bank. Depends upon the credit creation and accepting loans of the commercial bank, the central bank controls. Okay, how can they control? If the excess cash reserve ratio keeping by the commercial bank means immediately the central bank increasing the rate of interest. So automatically the payment these securities may be decreasing. Okay, so that the credit will be decreased. Here the central bank will lower down the cash reserve ratio with a view to expand the lending capacity of the commercial bank. Immediately they can do. They can reduce the cash reserve ratio of the commercial bank. And variable cash reserve ratio is an objective of monetary policy was first suggested by J.M. Keynes. So here we can understand about the Keynes idea. J.M. Keynes only explained about this cash reserve ratio, liquidity money, everything. So that the variable cash reserve ratio as an objective of monetary policy, this is first said by J.M. Keynes. It was followed by Federal Reserve System in United States of America. The commercial banks, as per the statute, has maintained reserve based on their demand deposit and fixed deposit with the central bank is called as cash reserve ratio. So that here we can understand about the commercial bank should keep something reserve ratio, okay, according to the guidance of the central bank. Understand? So that the commercial bank, as per the statute, has to maintain reserve based on their demand deposit and fixed deposit. It may be demand deposit or fixed deposit. Under the control of the central bank only they have to keeping the reserves, which is called as cash reserve ratio. If the CRR, cash reserve ratio, is high, the commercial bank's capacity to create credit will be less, and if CRR is low, so that immediately they have to reduce their credit. The commercial bank capacity to create credit will be high when if the credit will be less, they can increase. If the credit will be high, they can reduce. This is their policy. According to the central bank, the commercial bank keeping like this only. This is cash reserve ratio. According to the cash reserve ratio set by central bank, the commercial bank follow. Statutory liquidity ratio. The statutory liquidity ratio is the abbreviation of SLR. SLR means statutory liquidity ratio. It is the amount which a bank has to maintain in the form of cash, gold, or approval of securities. The bank should keep like cash, gold, or securities. The quantum is specified as some percentage of the total demand and time liabilities. So that the quantum means quantity. They may be specified as some percentage of the total demand of the time liabilities, which means the liabilities of the bank which are payable on demand anytime. Maybe they have to pay to the customer, and those liabilities which are occurring in one month time due to the maturity. Suppose they keeping fixed deposit, the liabilities they keeping in their bank, it means occurring in a 1 month time. Okay, this is called statutory liquidity rate. Next one is qualitative or selective method of credit control. This is second type of controlling measures of the central bank. Okay, the qualitative or the selective methods are directed towards the diversion of credit into particular user or channels in the economy. Their objective is mainly to control and regulate the flow of credit into particular industries or businesses. This is their main aim. That's why they are taking this qualitative method. Okay. So their objective is mainly control the flow of credit and particular industries and businessmen, everyone. The following are the frequent methods of credit control under the selective method they using: rationing of credit, direct action, moral persuasion, method of publicity, regulation of consumers' credit, regulating the marginal requirement on security loans. These are the selective method to control the credits. The first one is rationing of credit. This is the oldest method of credit control. Rationing of credit as an instrument of credit control was first used by the Bank of England by the end of the 18th century. Okay, this may be asked in over 1 mark. So rationing of credit control was used in which country? Bank of England. Okay, in 18th century. It aims to control and regulate the purpose for which credit is granted by commercial banks. Okay, it main aims to control and regulate the purposes for the credit is granted by commercial banks. Whatever credit granted by the commercial bank, that and all controlled by central bank. The rationing of credit is divided into two. One is the variable portfolio ceiling. What is that? It refers to the system by which the central bank fixes ceiling or maximum amount of loan and advances for every commercial bank. So ceiling also they have. Okay, maintaining by the central government the ceiling system, the variable portfolio. Portfolio means the different types of ceiling system. They can control the maximum amount of loans and advances for every commercial bank. So the limited sources only they can give to the commercial bank. This is called variable portfolio. Another one is the variable capital asset ratio. It refers to the system by which the central bank fixes the ratio which the capital of the commercial bank should have to the total assets of the bank. So the commercial bank, how much capital may be keeping. Everything controlled by the central bank. The next topic is direct action. So in the qualitative or selective methods of credit control, we completed rationing of credit. Now we are going to learn direct action. Direct action against the erring banks can take the following forms. The central bank may refuse to altogether grant discounting facilities to such banks. They have some power. Okay, they have power to control everything. They can refuse and accept everything. So that the central bank may refuse to altogether grant discounting facilities to such bank. So maybe they can refuse to granting discount some of the banks. The central bank may refuse to sanction further financial accommodation to a bank whose existing borrowing are found to be in excess of its capital and reserves. So depending upon the commercial bank reserve ratio and capital, if they have excess capital, they can control it, isn't it? So that the central bank may refuse the sanction of further financial accommodation to the commercial bank with using the existing borrowing. If anything excess borrowing they have, the keeping on borrowing means they can refuse to funding. The central bank may start charging penalty. So penalty rate of interest on money borrowed by a bank beyond the prescribed limit. Suppose the commercial bank going beyond their limit. So immediately the central bank charging penalty. So this is direct action taken by the central bank and the commercial bank. The third point is moral suasion. So moral suasion is maintained by all the commercial bank with the central bank. This method is frequently adopted by the central bank to exercise control over the commercial banks. Under this method, central bank gives advice then request. So they can give advice and request to the commercial bank and persuade the commercial banks to cooperate with the central bank in implementing its credit policies. Whatever policies they making, they are advising to the commercial bank to adjust with them, and they cooperative with the central bank for the implement of the credit policies. This is moral sanction. Every commercial bank should keeping some moral, okay, moral ethics with their central bank. This is moral sanction. Publicity. Next one is publicity. Central bank, in order to make their policy successful, take the course of the medium of publicity. They want some publicity to implementing their credit system. A policy can be effectively successful only when an effective public opinion is created on its favor. So that the effective public opinion, with the public opinion, they can take any policies. Regulation of consumer credit. The down payment is raised and number of installments reduced for the credit sale. When they are selling their credit, the down payment is raised and number of installments will reduce. This is regulation of commercial or consumer credit. Changing in the marginal requirements on the security loans. This system is mostly followed in the USA. Under this system, the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System has been given the power to prescribe margin requirements for the purpose of preventing an excessive use of credit for stock exchange speculation. So this is experiencing in USA. So the changes in the marginal requirements making by the central government. It means central bank. So that the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System has been given the power to prescribe margin requirements. How much they need, everything they can prescribe. Who? The Governor of the Federal Reserve System only can prescribe for some purpose. Okay? How much they can have credit and how much stock they have. The stock exchange speculation depends upon this. They can take and prescribe. This system is especially intended to help the central bank in controlling the volume of credit used for speculation in securities under the Security Exchange Act 1934. So, it can help the central bank in controlling the volume of credit used for speculation in securities under the Act of 1934. Okay, these are the qualitative measures. In this video, we discussed about qualitative and quantitative measures to control the credit. Okay, go through the points and understand the concept well.